Hello everyone, my name is Desola. I'm a fashion designer and you are welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Daisy's Wardrobe. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're an existing subscriber, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. And if you've seen my videos before and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And put on the notification bell so that you know when I put up a new video. I'm an African-inspired ready-to-wear fashion designer based here in Lagos, Nigeria, and I've been in business for over 10 years. And so here on my channel, I talk about running a business, being a fashion designer, all things business, all things fashion, and sometimes once in a while, I talk about my life. So here in today's video, I'll be discussing with you the reasons why you should start a clothing business. So like I said, I'm a ready-to-wear fashion designer. I bake and I sell clothes and I sell my designs right here in my store, and I've done this for over 10 years. And from all the knowledge I have from selling clothes, I am going to share with you reasons why you should start a clothing business. If you are passionate about fashion, or you're looking for a business to start and you are not sure what kind of business to start, then starting a clothing business might just be the way forward. First of all, a clothing business, personally, I think it's one of the safest businesses to invest in. And why do I say so? Because people will always wear clothes. Clothes will always be in demand. Now it depends on what kind of clothing that you are selling, but people will always wear clothes. Whether it's casual clothes, formal clothes, children's clothes, people will always wear clothes. Even uniforms. Uniforms are considered to be clothing. And knowing which one to invest in is also very important. Because not all niches in the clothing business will give you the same returns. But the demand for clothing will always be there. Because if you look at it, people's desire to look good, to look presentable, look attractive is universal. Everybody in the world dresses for one reason or the other, and most of the time, majority of the time, is either to look good, to look attractive, to look presentable, and also be comfortable. If you start a clothing business selling casual clothes, people that buy your casual clothes, they want to look presentable, they want to look attractive to other people, and they want to feel comfortable in these clothings. The same thing goes for people that buy formal clothing. They also want to look attractive, they want to look presentable, they want to look the part. So the demand for people to wear clothes, different types of clothes, will always be there. So that makes it a very safe business to invest in. With a clothing business, you can always start small. You don't always have to have a huge capital, a huge facility, or a large number of employees to start a clothing business. You can always start small with whatever it is that you have. And at the same time, you can also start very big, depending on what you have in your hand. You can start as big as you want. It depends on how much capital you have. So if you have a lot of capital, you can start in a big way. If you have little capital, you can start in a small way. And if you start in a small way, it is easier to scale a clothing business when it is time for the business to expand. So what do I mean by scaling a small clothing business? So you may start your clothing business today. You may start online or physically in a brick and mortar, selling limited items of clothing. As long as you're making a decent profit, you're able to expand your line or your designs to be able to have more and sell more. So that's what I mean by scaling it. Also, you may be online, selling online alone, and if you're doing well, making some decent profit, you can decide to have a brick and mortar as well, and then you combine the two together. So that's what I mean by scaling it. So it's easier to scale a clothing business than a lot of other businesses. Being able to scale your business does not only require that you're making a decent profit. Other things have to come into play for you to get it right and scale the business. So when it comes to starting a clothing business, you don't have to have extensive knowledge to start the business. So basically, you don't have to go and get a degree. You don't have to go and do some kind of masters or whatever it is to start a clothing business. Basic knowledge is required to start, and basic research is also very good when you want to start a clothing business. But along the line, it is required that you develop your business skills and you also develop other skills that would help move the business forward. And also, it depends on the kind of clothing that you are selling. So if, for example, if you're a fashion designer like myself who is making and selling clothes, you will not compare yourself to someone who is getting their clothes to sell from a wholesaler. As the business starts to move forward after starting, the knowledge that is required for someone who gets their clothes from a wholesaler is different from someone who manufactures and sells their clothes. But along the line, as time goes on, you have to develop yourself, improve your knowledge about the business so that you are able to grow the business successfully. So basic knowledge and basic research is required when you want to start a clothing business. But as time goes on, you have to improve on your knowledge, because basic knowledge is not going to see you through in the long run. Another reason why you should start a clothing business is you are able to decide. You have the power to decide what kind of clothing you want to sell. Like I said at the beginning of the video, there are different kinds of clothing, and clothing will always be in demand because people need to wear clothes. We need to cover our bodies, and in the process of us covering our bodies, we don't just want to cover our bodies with the same thing every day, or let's say, for example, cover your body with leaves every single day. Some people want to have variety. Some people want to have green leaves, yellow leaves, red leaves, whatever the case may be. But you're able to decide what kind of clothing you want to sell. You're able to decide which one is easier for me. If I cannot manufacture the clothes by myself, I can always, get it from somewhere. And it doesn't have to be women's clothing. It could be for men. It could be for children. You have the power to decide, depending on what you feel is comfortable for you and it's okay for you. It's very flexible. I sell clothes for women, for example. I can decide tomorrow to start selling clothes for children. That is not going to stop me because I sell clothes for women. So having the power to decide what kind of clothing you want to sell when you start a clothing business is very, very good. So I hope I've been able to give you some reasons why you should start a clothing business. If this is something that you have been contemplating whether you should start or not, I hope I've been able to give you reasons why you should start a clothing business. It's a business that when you start, most of the time, majority of the time, you can never go wrong. If you do your homework, that is, if you do your research, you can hardly go wrong. And you are able to determine how much you make, which is very important, to be honest. So my video for today is done. If you enjoyed watching my video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe and put on the notification bell so that you know when I put up a new video. And so I will see you soon. Bye.